thanks Code BAM for subscribing with your Twitch Prime B-dubs. If you have F5, can you guys confirm that we're back up? It looks like we're good on my side.
Stream is actually working for me.
It says there's 0 people watching now on my camera, which is hilarious because I know at least I'm watching.
Ha! Twitch, please.
Oh yeah,
right.
Top 20. Okay, now we're good to go. Okay, Brian. So what's happening today?
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Talk Clack.
Hi.
And today we're going to be talking about the same kind of things we normally do. News. Will we have a guest? Yes, we will have a guest. You know why? Because we're slightly more prepared than usual. We will have Jack of Ortholinear Keyboards with us, designer of the Plonk, among other popular ortholinear stuffs. So that'll be cool. That'll be coming very soon. We'll try to do that in about 45-ish minutes. But until then, we will work on a little bit of the news. Huey, why don't you roll the intro for us?
News?
No news. I'm just gonna eat newspaper the whole time instead.
Oh, okay. Well, for those of you,
thank
who
you
might
for
have
the subscriptions, by the way, gentlemen.
Yeah. Thank you, friends. So those of you who might have missed out, just want to say we did have a little Christmas shenanigans stream. You guys can always check out in the VOD. But that will be for another time. For now, we must do the news. Let me just get my tabs correct. Yes.
News.
Let's just skip that discussion point. That's blank. Don't worry about that.
Yeah. Don't you worry about that.
Fix my camera. And let's talk about these keycap news, because this first topic is pretty cool. These are the E-Drug Mix Mechanical Keyboard PBT Keycaps. $40, 106 keys, which is kind of just shit compatibility.
Yeah, 100% shit compatibility. There you go.
It's a new profile. We like new things. My hope personally is it sells well enough where they're willing to buy molds for the missing keys, so it doesn't have shit compatibility. But I'm curious to see how it feels, profile-wise. PBT-wise, it'll probably be... I'm worried it might be chalky, but I'm more concerned about the sculpt.
Yeah, most definitely. So we actually ordered some of these to test, if I'm not mistaken, right, Huey?
We did, yes.
All right, so we'll have opinions on this in the near future. But new profiles, always really cool. They have a little comparison chart against other popular profiles down here in the middle right of the page, and it looks interesting. Could be a cool thing. It is very sculpted if you're into that sort of thing.
So interestingly, they put it between SA and OEM for their comparisons. It kind of looks the part.
Yeah.
It's like a stubby SA / fatter-ish OEM. Not fatter, no, it's just kind of different. It's like a stubby SA though.
I'm not a big fan of the center print legends, but I usually am not. Kind of wish they had the corner legend version.
I wish so too.
Let's just see.
You want to see something that looks really bad though? Go to the pick of all the keys and look at the numpad. It's the second to last pick.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
That numpad, that 5, really annoys me
wow.
because it's centered and nothing else is on that numpad. That was pointed out to me earlier today when I was talking to one of our Discord members, and he's like, "You want to see something bad, Huey?" I'm like, "Yes, I do."
Always show me what's bad. Come on.
So it's laser engraved, which IMO. It's kind of unfortunate. At least they can do bright legends on dark keycap. My hope is because they're already going with PBT out of the gates. Hopefully, a future run they can just go for light keycaps and just go straight for the die sub.
Yeah.
Win-win, I think.
Yep. So can't wait to get these in. Have more opinions on them. Huey will probably be doing
$40 though for that price point. I think it's like it's worth just trying, right? Like it's $40. That's so cheap for a new profile. Like the only other new profile that comes out that cheap is the cubic one, which is basically like a tall OEM, right? The other close-ish thing to do this would be like the MT3 profile by Meteor, and that's
MT3 is pretty different.
It is pretty different. You're right.
It's very unique, but yeah.
But that's far more than 40, for example.
Yeah, no, exactly. This is significantly cheaper.
watch out for a review in the future. Speaking of more keycap news, we talked about the interest check for JTK Aqua. They've moved right ahead into the group buy. Nice and quick. I like this colorway.
I do too. I think it's great. I'm still a little skeptical about JTK's consistency issues with their legends in particular, but if you're someone that is able to get past that, then the price isn't too shabby.
You know what? Actually, for me, this is a big test for, though. If I'm not mistaken, I could be. This is going to be one of their first sets with... Is it? No, it might not be. With the custom colors. People just say, here's the Pantone colors. Let's see how this turns out. Because a lot of people usually like doing that with like GMK, for example, you know, giving them the Pantone colors from the super expensive Pantone thing, right? And then seeing how it turns out compared. There's been some good examples. And like, what had custom color recently? Something. And there's been bad examples, like Plum. But I want this to go well. I like this.
Yeah.
People in chat have been saying this is a better version of Triumph Adler. I don't think they're going for the same thing, to be perfectly honest.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't really see that, but
I don't see that either. But I like this set. This is more like an edgier version of Cyan IMO.
Yeah, and you know, here at Top Clack we do love edginess because
yes.
Huey. But yeah, this is pretty good looking stuff. I like it.
Compatibility, I like it.
It's good. Yeah, has a ridiculous amount of keys. Doesn't really support. Wait, does it do the whole 75 and 65% right column?
No, it does not. It's missing. It has the page up and page down. Oh, it does. And there you go. They just mixed it in there instead of GMK where they kind of
so it. I think that's new because I don't think JTK sets used to support that.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
And full HHKB support with the row 1U pipe slash. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I want to get this, but I also want to get a desoldering station.
Oof.
What time is
tough,
it?
Man.
Top Clack money. No, but yeah, everyone check this out. Z Frontier is one of our partners. They're really cool folks. They ship fast too, ridiculously fast.
Yeah.
They've been running so many. They've been running so many things back and forth. I know one of our users on Discord recently, Megaforce, he was saying that of the two cheapest GMK sets currently running, Z Frontier is running one of them, which is like the
Corsa Auto.
Yeah.
Though to be fair, that does have less compatibility than a lot of other GMK sets.
Very true.
If we're being totally unbiased here. Anyways, okay. JTK Aqua in group buy right now. Pick it up if you like it. Why is
this under the keycap news?
I don't know, man. You put it there.
Did I? How much were you drinking?
I don't think it was me.
It was probably me. I'm just gonna do a little snip and a little paste, and then we're gonna talk about this Tex Yoda II because this Tex Yoda II has something very interesting on it. It has a GMK set with a cut GH&B. For those who might not know, Tex Yoda is a 60% keyboard with a track nipple.
Nipple. We gotta call it a nipple because
another part that I don't know if I can. Oh, Twitch doesn't care about. No, they do care about cursing. Damn.
Stay away.
Okay. But it's a mouse. There's mouse buttons. So the unique thing is usually when you had a Tex Yoda in the past, you could basically only want to use their ABS key set because you didn't want to take a Dremel to your keycaps.
Yeah, and I mean, who does want to do that? Honestly.
But or you
morning coffee in chat gets it.
Thank you.
We're not gonna say that on stream, but there you go. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a relatively nice looking key set. I think if nothing else, it's good to have this option. I'm going to imagine that this key set will not be sold individually. Which kind of makes sense, but it's a little bit of a letdown because people that already have the Tex Yoda II who are using the stock caps won't be able to get this without buying their keyboard, generally speaking, I'm going to assume.
You know what the crazy thing is going to be, though? Hey, you just got a $303 Tex Yoda kit. You know what you want on top of that? $150 of GMK, because even though it has no compatibility other than for this keyboard, we need to make money off of it. And we fronted all the sets, and they're very expensive because we didn't get that many. But hey, if you are a Tex Yoda enthusiast to the max, this is like endgame Tex Yoda.
Yeah. Do people care about this keyboard? Is this like still a popular keyboard? Or
I don't know. It's not 2015 anymore.
Yeah, I remember the Tex Yoda I. I remember seeing a lot of pictures about that. Those were kind of popular. But I don't know.
You know what I think will be kind of popular, though? The keyboard news, because we have a lot of keyboard news to talk about. Starting off with this. It's just, so the Intersex is called the 96 keyboard, but it's from YMDK, so I'm just going to call it the YMDK 96 until they think of a name themselves.
That's fair.
So they're still pretty early because they're still like considering different bevels, like that first one. They have a few pictures of prototype they got. Pricing looks pretty cheap. 150, otherwise up to 165. Aluminum top, aluminum plate, acrylic bottom, PCB, stabs.
Yeah, stabilizers for $150. That's actually surprisingly good.
For $5 more, there will be genuine cherry instead of genuine Chinese. They're considering having an option for a brass plate, which I don't think there's too many 96 keys with brass plates. That's good.
Are there any?
Good chunk of brass right there.
I
feel like there is one.
I don't think I've seen any. I don't know.
I feel like there's one. They're thinking about offering an option for aluminum bottom or brass weight, but there's a lot of this thing is in really early interest check. So, but if you're interested, enter the interest check, give them their feedback, give them your feedback, I mean, because this could potentially be a, pretty starting at a low price 96 key to based on what some of these options sound like a high price. So it's kind of like an all range kind of thing.
Yeah, this looks like a really serious, even aesthetically, it looks like a very serious competitor to like the ZZ96, which is a pretty popular 96 key, which sells for, 300 plus group buy price. So if they hit this $150 range, even like sub 200 in general, this is going to be probably really successful.
Looks like on the sample plate, it is switch top removable.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see where this goes, because this could be very cool.
They're not going to have rose gold, red, or light blue. I like how I love this picture. I posted this picture on our Discord, and people thought I photoshopped it because like how it's just crossed out and it says no for the rose gold. So,
well, poor Olivia. Can't get this keyboard because no rose gold.
But there's color samples, pictures, so that's kind of nice for people to see ahead of time. People always care about those things. So give them, if you're interested in 96K, I know a lot of people are nowadays. Pretty good budget option. Speaking of budget options, this AL1 probably won't be one of those, because the MOQ for 30 keyboards is $290. MOQ for 50 keyboards on that will be $260. So it's still decent, but it's basically a Blackbird but by Triangle Lab, to be perfectly honest. It is a little different because the bottom row still has that funky, it's 1.25 1.25, not 1.51 1.5.
This does look relatively like a Blackbird.
Yeah. 7U spacebar.
Yeah, I don't.
What do you think about this layout? Like for me, like I can't do it because the numpad is wrong.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this. This is funky.
I don't mean
Not really
that it's
for me.
wrong because it's completely wrong. It's just I'm not that big of a fan of the 1 unit 0. That's all.
Yeah. But anyways, if you are into this thing, it is fully programmable via TMK. It does have USB Type-C. It has detachable wind keyless blockers, so apparently they will not be an option for the built-in version, unfortunately. And looks like you can... It does come with a brass weight. Okay, cool. So there is that. You can get laser engraving services for $14 more. Does that mean your weight?
I guess so.
Or something else? Wish they were a little bit more specific on that.
The sample looks nice. I'm happy they have pictures of a sample.
Yeah, like it doesn't look bad. The quality looks alright. Definitely just not my kind of board.
Not my kind of board either.
Particularly with that funky layout.
Something that's also not my kind of board really is this interest check for the BOK.CP. I'm not gonna question what this. I mean, I know the CP hopefully just stands for compact. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah.
8 degrees slope. Brass weight optional. ISO and ANSI. 385. But that's a lot of brass on the bottom.
Yeah. Man, that's
max quantity is 50.
All right. Well, one thing I do like here are the top blockers to separate the portions of the F row. I think that looks pretty nice.
Yes, those gaps.
Yeah, I mean, when I pay this much for a keyboard, I want the case to be the shining part. So give me more case with this kind of thing, always.
So I believe it comes with a brass plate as well. Let's see. Yes. Yes? No? I'm trying to find it. Oh well. But
he does have a lot of options here. A lot of options and a lot of information for an interest check thread, which is cool.
So supposedly, hopefully, according to this post, the group buy will be opening on New Year's Day. So while you are hungover or still drunk, I don't judge, from your New Year's Eve, maybe you'll drunkenly stumble into a group buy.
Oof.
That's
so it's been a long time since I've done that. Thankfully.
Okay, moving on. JMD, aka Dave from mechkeys.ca, Canadian Dave, is running an interest check. He gave us a teaser of this a few months back. He's been working on it for a long time. This is the Espectro.
Espectro Petroleum. Sorry, I had to.
It's okay. Yeah, he's working. He's
working with it's Kubicek, right?
Kubicek, yeah, the Kubes.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So we have talked about this before. It looks like he actually has a production unit now. I'm assuming that's in his hand, hopefully. So that's pretty nice. It's very different.
Looking at under 250 USD is his goal. That's not the final price, but that's what he's looking for. It'll include case, PCB, hardware, and a quote-unquote extra surprise TBA.
Sounds like Dave. Dave likes to include surprises in pretty much everything.
Switch shop compatible. Yay.
Yeah.
Those curves. So those curves are what really make this keyboard. Yay? Nay? What does that say?
Yeah. I mean, that's what makes it kind of unique. We've never really seen many, if any, designs that have that kind of front slope or back slope that he's going for here. Whether I like it or not, I think it's good because it's not the same thing that we always see.
No, Brian, I want to know what you think.
I think it looks okay.
Yeah, same.
I'm not in love with it, but I think it's interesting, if nothing else. I like that he's going for lots of different things here. It's got aluminum and polycarbonate construction, so the bottom is actually going to be milled polycarbonate. It is top mounted QMK. It's got that underglow RGB because, you know, people are still into that. And yeah, I hope the price is as attractive as he's hoping.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Kit, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I just gotta wait. Like everything in this community, we just have to wait and see.
Wait and see. Speaking of something that I've been waiting and I hope to see soon, is this intercheck for the Meteor by Eve. So this is a very unique, I know you hate percentages, but quote-unquote 70%, or quote-unquote 70, no, it's not 75. But it's basically a 60% with the F keys on top. I actually kind of like it in the blockered format with the blockers on the bottom. So it's like an a tall HHKB. Yeah, because I wouldn't use those as F keys. I would use those as media keys up top. / artisan holder / novelty keys holder.
So you like the version with the bottom blockers?
Yes.
So it'd be the first time we've disagreed on something so hard. I think it looks absolutely awful with the blockers. Awful. I think the blockers make it look so goofy because of that top row. I think it looks nice in the normal configuration. I think it looks fine. If I were to get one or own one, I would definitely not get the bottom blockers.
We should each consider getting one in the opposite ones, and then review each other's.
Oh man, we probably won't be able to afford this. Is there a price?
Nah, I don't think so yet. No, it has been run in China through Z Frontier, who will also be running it for the international when it comes. So we will see. One thing I really like about this case, to be perfectly honest, is the fact that there's a lot of customizability in the colors. As you can see, you can customize that top plate area, the middle section, and then the bottom section. And then on that bottom section, that's
pretty cool.
So you can have a tricolor on it if you want to. There's a top case, middle frame, aluminum plate, bottom case, and a weight. So there's 5 different technically color options if you have a aluminum accent instead of a weight. But I do like the weight's design of being just integrated as a chunk on the bottom, not just an insert in the middle.
Yeah, very interesting. It again, like the Espectro, I think this is an incredibly unique board. So to me, that automatically makes it cool because it's not typical.
I like this one, and depending on how much it is, I might go for it. To be perfectly honest,
you should get the blocker version so I can get triggered.
I think chat is just as split on this as we are.
Really?
Yeah, I'm hearing people go back and forth on this. Or
you guys like the blockers? I think it looks so much better without the blockers. And normally I do like having.
They're going at it. The Great Blocker War of 2018.
Good. Yes, argue. Yes.
People really are going back and forth though. Like,
I would totally use one of these without the blockers, but I don't know why the blockers just look so goofy to me on this, just because of that extra top row. Like, if that weren't there and this were like a 60%, I think the blockers would look totally fine. But because of the top row, it just something looks off when you have the bottom blockers there as well.
I like that comment. Top clack blocker arc. For real.
It's like a 4-episode arc. In our 12-episode anime. We should do a top clack anime, by the way.
Okay. I don't know what that would entail, but okay.
Don't worry,
So the Meteor is by Eve, the same person who's pre-roused the Moon and the Mira. Speaking of the Mira, fun fact, I got my shipping invoice.
Oof.
Crazy.
Nice, dude.
So maybe I'll be getting it soon. Whatever that means.
Anyways, hope we can get some more information on this soon. So it is an IC phase. Prototypes are being inspected. That's what's going on right now. And then they're also designing the PCB currently. So hopefully we'll see more of this in the near future so we can hopefully be impressed by it.
Yes. Fun fact, it does come with a custom keyboard bag as well, which is a new trend I've been liking.
Nice. Yeah. Bags are always
Like,
cool.
this is also by Eves. I don't know if you saw, like, you probably haven't been catching up that much, but for the mirrors are coming in really cool cases for a TKL. I'll be really excited to show that off. But speaking of showing off, we had Don on from the board as well as Kevin Serchetter, his co-host of the board, and he was showing off his Fhan Pad. If you watched our Christmas stream, you might have seen him tease this on the screen a little bit. It is Fhan, F-H-A-N, stands for function row, home block keys, arrow keys, number keys, and print screen, scroll lock, and pause break keys. Which technically are part of the navigation cluster ish. Not many people group them together, but yeah, this is the Fhan. Here's the little KLE layout on screen y'all can see of this didgeridoo.
How incredibly functional.
So if you have a 60%, you have anything smaller, and you're like, hey, I miss having a dedicated arrows or a numpad or navigation keys, or I don't have to use like one layer for. This is the solution for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a good idea. A lot of people do like that functionality, but also like smaller keyboards that don't have any of those keys. So that's good. Do we have a price? Can't say too much until we have a price.
But he has a Google form you should fill out if you're interested in seeing this PCB come into a purchasable item. So you should do that. It does require diodes to be soldered in yourself, a Pro Micro, but you can also do
pretty typical stuff.
Yeah,
if you're used to this kind of product. He does have a little video where he goes through the build and stuff. So if you wanted to check it out there, then you most definitely can.
Yes,
it's very functional, if nothing else.
You know what also is functional? TKLs, and this is a TKL. This is the Mars 8.0. This is by the same people who did the Snowflake, which is unfortunately canceled. Those of you who watch our show may remember the Snowflake 60%, which had that
like the Snowflake
insert with the snowflake on the back. That's really the best way I can describe it.
What a bummer.
Yeah, that was canceled, but this is their next product they're working on, the Mars 8.0. I really wonder like how quickly they moved from like Mars 1.0 to Mars 8.0. Like, I want to know their naming scheme there, because last time I checked, Mars isn't the 8th planet from the sun in either direction.
Well, shows what you know, Huey. Maybe it's 8th something. The 8th, maybe it's the 8th best planet. All right, how about that? I don't know. Anyways, how do we feel about the design here?
I mean, it's basically the KBD Fans 60% case with the insert, but
that's the first thing I noticed.
But in 80% form. That's all. That's all it is. Literally, if you look at the sides, it has that same kind of
curvature. Yeah. Yep. Same.
Not that that's a bad case or a bad design. That's a great 60% case for the price.
This is
But this right here.
This is a very beefy TKL.
Let's go through this full album. This Mars. Just different colors.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like he has a prototype yet, nor does he have very much information at all about the board, unfortunately. But, you know, again, this is an interest check, so if you're interested, make sure to show that interest. Okay,
let's go back to the thing I cut pasted, which is this. Oh, I'm so hyped about this. This is the KBT Fans PAD Custom Mechanical Keyboard DIY Kit, which is basically them saying, hey, Revo, we can one-up you, no biggie, for $30 less, including stabs, $1 extra for Enjoy PBT Keycaps, boot mapper client compatible,
yay,
free USB mini cable,
yay.
If you're in the market for like a nice looking numpad Areno, like
Yeah, this is I think this is a really cool product. I mean, $82 gets you a full kit. That includes caps and the cable. So like $82 gets you like literally everything you need for this, which is really cool.
Yeah. They need to fix their posting because in the picture there are stabs, but on the included section it does not say stabs. I'm sure it does because they're in the picture, and that's something that I would believe KBD fans would do.
Yeah, that would be very KBD fans of them to include stabs.
KBD fans, if you're watching, I don't know if you know much about us or ever watch us, but if you are watching, please fix that.
I know they're at least aware of us because I talked to one of their guys the other day.
You are for Big Brother.
About getting a sample of I asked the other day. I asked for a sample of the Alias switches, and he's like, "Oh, Top Clack." And I was like, "Yay!" I was like, "Can I have some Alias switches to try out?" He's like, "Yes." And he was very nice to me.
So I mean, a numpad like this is great if you're really needing a separate numpad and you want it to be premium, or for I know some people in our community use Win keyless keyboards, but they don't want to like program. They use both alts and both controls, oddly enough, so they put their Windows key on an external numpad. That's the thing too. Or you could, because it's bootmapper client compatible, you can just do media key whenever you want. It's fully programmable.
Should sneeze. I think we need to get. I need to get one of these. I don't even have a use for it. Like I don't even know if I'd ever use it, but I really want to get the silver one and just keep it next to my silver Clipe.
So I was talking to our Discord earlier. So I was talking to Admiral L.
Nice. Nice job not using the full name there.
Admiral L. And we were talking about this. We were talking about the site in general. He was the one who pointed out the 5 for the E-Drug set on the numpad. So we're talking about numpads, and I'm like, oh yeah, have you checked out the pad yet? And he's like, oh yeah, we're talking about how awesome it is. And he was telling me like, what color combination would you get for the keycaps? For me, dark gray with the black legends, because that kind of like goes with everything I have, and you can't go wrong. Would you go black or silver or gray?
So I'd go silver in hopes that it matches the silver Clipe that I'm using currently. So I think that would be a nice combo. As for keycaps, I don't know which ones I'd get initially, probably just the black, but I don't know if I'd actually use them because I have GMK Stormtrooper on my Clipe right now, so I'd probably just use the numpad from that. So that way it looks a little bit more cohesive. But I mean, I wouldn't turn down Enjoy PBT numpad caps for $1. I would feel absolutely obligated to pay that $1. I want to meet the guy who gets this product and doesn't pay the $1 for keycaps, because that person cannot be my friend.
The person's like, sorry man, I had to get a cheeseburger from McDonald's. Cannot get that. Cannot eat EPBT.
Like, no, get the caps. I will PayPal you the $1.29 for your double cheeseburger or whatever. Like, please make sure you get these keycaps for $1. Anyways, yes, I think it's a cool product, and the pricing looks very fair. So
Why
pretty
red?
happy about this.
Why red?
Red what?
Why is red an option?
Why not?
Like red goes with, what does red go with?
Your other red keyboards?
Why do people buy red keyboards? I don't understand.
I don't know, but people do.
I'm not a red kind of guy. I'm sorry.
I'm not. I'm not usually either. You know what? This would match my red and black E6, Huey.
Too much red. See, your red and black has the black.
Yeah, the red is more of an accent
You
color
didn't get a red on red E6. That's the difference.
Yeah. Fair. Maybe I'll still get one. I'll still get a red one, and I'll use it with my E6 just to piss you off. Anyways, a few more things to talk about. So
on the opposite side of being pissed off, you can get clicked off with these thick clicks.
So dude.
Now on sale at Novel Keys. So both the Jade and Navy switches. Yeah. Big Switch extras are available. I was really happy to see a lot of people were getting their big Switches before Christmas, which must have been really nice for them to, you know, bug their families Christmas morning with their Switches.
I'm actually kind of annoyed that Mike decided to call these thick clicks. That moniker should never have existed ever. It should be the box navies and the box jades. And they are, but they're also, if you refer to them as what, like, them together, they're thick clicks.
Oh, thank you, Mike, for giving me the official KL force curve diagrams. That's actually the most important thing to me. And if it's not important to you to get force curve diagrams, you should watch episode 2 of Which Switch to understand why force curve diagrams are really important. But Brian, we are going to be building with these, aren't we?
Yes. So Huey and I have some of these on the way, and I am incredibly excited.
Do you have any clue what board you're going to be putting them in yet?
No, I do not. I will figure that out when the time comes.
Will you put them in like a 60% and just?
I'll probably re-switch. Yeah, I'll probably just re-switch like my Fiel or something in the meantime while I figure it out.
I think I'm gonna do.
I need Sim in my life.
I'm getting a Tina in next week. I think. As of yesterday, it was in New Jersey shipping to me. I don't know how long it will take, so probably next week I'll get it. Get Tina. I'm thinking about either putting it in there, or I still have a spare plate and PCB for my Duck Viper. So do I go for like
options?
It's like, yeah, like one's the cheaper version of the other. We'll see. We'll see.
Right. One last thing to talk about before we bring our guest on. Just a quick shout out. If you haven't seen Huey's new YouTube video about the Norbaforce, where he talks about the installation process and he reviews it a little bit, you guys should definitely go watch that. I actually watched it right before the stream. It was quite nice because, you know what? The Norbaforce is quite nice. So make sure you guys go check that out on our official YouTube channel and subscribe while you're there if you're not already, because you like us. You probably even dream about us at least once or twice. I dream about talking.
We've been getting actually a lot of subscribers in for our YouTube channel recently. Thank you, everyone.
Have we?
Yeah, it's actually my fault we haven't, because for the longest time I forgot to be adding tags to videos, which for YouTube's algorithm actually matters a lot. So I started going back to some of our older videos and adding tags, and I suddenly, like, in the last 3 days, we've had like 2 to 3 dozen people subscribe to us.
Oh, wow.
So
nice.
I just need to remember to do that for everything I upload. And I don't know. Yeah, I forget things.
Always do the thing, Huey.
Yeah,
always
do the thing that gets me the thing. TLDR, big fan of basically everything but the price, understandably.
Yeah, but when he was on the show, he did talk about
it.
Why, you know, he's very trusting with this powder coating shop in the U.S. So that's partly why he has to do a lot more work for it as well. So it was a very justifiable approach.
I do want to put some important details out. You'll hear it when I do the video, but if you're on the fence about joining, I highly recommend you join, because round 2 may not be the same as round 1, because in 2018 Topra is going to be releasing the new Real Force RGB TKLs, and that might take over the Real Force 87U line normally, and that might have a different plate and case configuration, which means round 2 might be fitting for a different keyboard. Topra has already discontinued the JIS High Pro keyboard to a lot of people's disagreement in the community, and they're possibly going to axe the ANSI High Pro. No clue. People are pretty worried about what Topra is doing, because the keyboards are the smallest part of their company. So if you're on the fence about getting it, round 2 is nowhere in the for sure going to happen. No vendor will be stocking it as well, unlike the Norba Touch, which was stocked by Originative. Ryan says he will not be having a vendor stock Norbaforces. He will have extras for sale, but they're going to be mostly for the people who may have issues with theirs because of shipping hassles or this or that, or small manufacturing defects. The majority of the extras will be going to those, and he'll have a few after that to sell. Otherwise, we don't know whether or not this will be the last one. I talked to him yesterday about this. Yes, yeah, I talked to him yesterday about this on Skype in the flesh at length. So
yeah, if you're on the fence about it, you gotta get one.
Because we can't. Neither of us can guarantee. Like,
otherwise, you're gonna regret it, and then you're gonna pay a pretty serious markup on Mech Market for it probably, and those would both be bad things.
You know what you won't pay a significant markup on though?
What, Huey?
The Plank Easy on the Wallet Kit, and we have the perfect person to talk about that, don't we?
We do, but before we get into that, let's talk a little bit about our sponsors. Because as usual, as of late, we do have fantastic sponsors. So I'm gonna go ahead and start us out with Z Frontier. If you guys weren't aware, Z Frontier is a pretty awesome Chinese site that they've been catering a lot to the West lately, and they've been going pretty hard. They have a lot of awesome key sets and keyboards up. We had a couple review samples in recently. We had the Time TKL, we had the ALF 60%, both really, really cool and very unique keyboards that we're very stoked about. He was going to show off the ALF there. I have the Time, but I haven't rebuilt it yet, so that'll
maybe
come
you
out
could
later
put the Jades or Navies in there. You can ask for more switches though if he hasn't sent them out though.
I could augment a little bit. I could do like some of whatever.
Yeah, right? But
that's a good idea. I'm glad you're here, Huey, because I might not have been there. Anyways, and Z Frontier has also been doing an awesome job. They've been trying to bring Top Clack and just more information in general over to the Chinese community, and so they've been subtitling in Chinese parts of Top Clack just to show them. They seem to be really enjoying it, which is awesome. They've had a lot of very nice things to say. They call me foreign big brother. It melts my heart. Anyways, yes, so make sure to check out Z Frontier if you haven't already. Support them because they are very cool people and they've been doing a lot for us. What else we got, Huey?
Input Club are awesome. They just wrapped up a few days ago the group buy for the Hawko Clear and True Switches, which will be shipping in February most likely. They're also stocking these baller Top Clack T-shirts. Please grab one if you haven't, if you want to support us. Every little bit helps us, and these T-shirts are an awesome way to let your friends and family know, you know, where the keyboard news is at, that you are a topist clackist. And you know what? They have a waitlist as well for their Kira 96 key. So that's going to be interesting, as well as a waitlist for their Aura 60%, although that's, from what I've heard from them, very far down the line. So
I don't know if you saw this earlier, Huey, but I was just, so I follow Input Club on Instagram, and I was just browsing, and I'm gonna post a link here in chat. This is their most recent post, and I was like, what the hell? What keyboard is that? And obviously this is a render, but like, is this a keyboard that's gonna be a thing? Because I really like that sleek side design.
That is that might be one of the prototypes for the Kira, maybe.
If Andrew or Hata or someone is watching, I need to know more about this keyboard because this is really, really cool. I love that inner like swoop there. I think that's swoop.
It's a scientific term, everyone. It's a swoop.
Yeah, kind of like schmear. It's also a scientific term. Anyways, I really like that keyboard. I saw that earlier and I was like, what the? I gotta get on that. So hopefully that'll become a thing.
Yeah, they have SA Berserk. I forgot all about that. But yeah, it's ending soon. If you're a big Evangelion fan, then like, come on. Berserk. Rebuild movie number 2. Ano, please give us Rebuild 3+1. The last one, please. Sometime before 2020. Come on.
Let's not get sidetracked with anime too hard. But while you're there, make sure you pick up, a Top Clack shirt and an Input Fox shirt.
Yeah, Input Club or White Fox cap hat.
I really liked the White Fox shirts. Actually, the color on it is like really, really cool. I wear mine pretty often. Anyways, last but not least, of course, we have novelkeys.xyz. They've been helping us out a lot. I say they, but I think it's just Mike. He's been helping us out a lot with a lot of things lately, and he's always got good things going on. So lots of switches. Of course, we talked about the box navies and box jades that just recently came in. Super, super awesome switches. We love them. Can't wait to be building with them. And yeah, if you order from here, which you should support him because he's an incredibly nice guy. You can use promo code TOPCLACK, which gives you 5% off your entire order. So make sure you use that, and then leave him little love notes. Leave everyone little love notes whenever you order anything that's affiliated with us. Oh yeah.
Oh
and now we can move on to bring on Jack,
the man who wrote love notes that ended up turning into QMK. Those are his love notes to the community.
Do you think when Jack handwrites stuff, he writes like, does he write in ortholinear?
Oh, no. What? No. What?
Yes.
Insert transition here.
Oh, you're echoing. Wait. We're both echoing. We're echoing through Jack. Uh-oh.
Oh, through you? Through me?
Yes. It was fine earlier. I'm not really sure what happened. Oh, wait. Might be good now.
Are we Gucci?
What's that?
So everything we Gucci. Yeah, we're good.
Yep. No more echo. All right, fantastic. Jack, welcome to the show.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. So we actually had Jack on quite a while ago before, Top Clack was so professional like we are now.
Top Clack 2.0.
Yeah, Top Clack upgraded, revised.
Was it this year? It might have been this year still, wasn't it?
Actually, I don't know. It's possible, yeah.
Early 2017, I think.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you so much for coming back. I'm very curious. Yeah. So you're kind of like the guru of ortholinear stuff. When you write with your hand, like handwriting, do you write in ortholinear as well?
I don't, but I also rarely write. I think the only time I write is like once a month for like checks to my distributor or whatever. So that's about it.
Fair enough. So anyways, in case people didn't see our last episode with you or they're not aware of who you are, can you just talk about a little bit like who you are, what you have been known for in this community, and where your things are going?
About 3 years ago, I started a group buy for the Plank keyboard, and that went on to grow into ortholinear keyboards, which is now rebranded as OLKB, just to kind of make ortholinear like a free term that anyone can use. I don't want to like try to own that like in terms of my company. So OLKB is the company now, but that turned into getting more and more orders, and then eventually about 2 years ago, I started legitimizing my fork of TMK, which eventually became QMK, by bringing on areas of Ergodox and Scully of Clueboard to kind of make it a little more legitimate. And we've been growing ever since. So.
Right on. So you're also kind of a proprietor of QMK, is that correct?
Yep.
Can you talk a little bit about like your involvement with QMK and maybe where it's going and all that kind of fun stuff?
I mean, we just started as a fork, and it was kind of just what I had, modifications I had made to kind of make the plank and I think the Prionic at that time, it was just the plank, a little more attractive, do some cooler stuff, and allow people to kind of have an entry-level coding experience to still be able to program it and everything. And that's kind of one of our main goals, is to make customizing your keyboard to do literally whatever you want in a way that's anyone can do. And we're kind of getting there. We're right now, the main thing we're struggling with is the configurator. There's a lot available right now, and there's some stuff that makes it a little harder that we think we can make it simpler. And so we're kind of trying to work towards that and work with people that have configurators out there ready to make it better. But so that's one of our goals. Another goal that we're working on right now is to get hardware out there. So we're trying to work on something that's kind of like a Teensy equivalent, or Arduino, or like the Pro Micro equivalent, that's a little more focused on hand wiring and focused on like writing your own code, and have more of like a boilerplate for hand wired projects like that. So that's pretty exciting. That's the thing that hopefully we'll be able to announce here in the next couple of weeks.
Nice. So is it safe to assume that at some point in time we'll get a sweet, super simple QMK GUI for stupid people like Huey and I?
Definitely. That's hopefully next week is actually what I'm going to try to like get something out that people can use. And that's like the main thing we have right now is that not all keyboards in QMK are supported. And so if you look at like Rookie's kbfirmware.com, it's kind of a different interface, and like you have to go through KLE sometimes to get the keyboard you want supported. And it's a great first step to getting people like introduced to how QMK works. But like, there's a lot of challenges that people still have to go through that seem kind of pointless or seem kind of redundant for us. So yeah, it's getting there.
Yeah, every time I try to use QMK, I'm like, wait, I need help with this, and someone's like, oh, you just gotta do this and this and this. I'm like, I don't know what any of that is. Like, talk to me like I'm 5, okay? Come on. I feel so stupid.
One of those things that we do have an awesome community that just is willing to walk you through step by step and getting stuff through. Yeah. So we were really blessed with just everyone that contributes to QMK.
So just because someone's asking in the chat, and I know we covered this last time we were on, but how do you properly pronounce Plonk or Plank?
Just Plank.
It's Plank?
Yeah, I mean that's how I say it. That's how I've always had it set in my head. So
okay, but it was named after the physicist Planck, correct?
Well, technically, it was named after the Planck or Planck length, which is named after the physicist Planck, which is German. So traditionally, you would say it Planck, but because it's kind of an international unit, it's kind of whatever place wants to say however.
Okay, so neither pronunciation is wrong,
right? But I will always say Planck in my videos and whatever I do. So if you want to hold that to be the gold standard, you can do that.
No, I'm gonna be a rebel. I'm gonna say Planck forever.
I do.
Fantastic. Fight me, Twitch chat. Anyways, so last week we talked a little bit about the dank, which you might not be quite as involved in as some people might have thought. Can you talk a little bit about what's going on with that, if you don't mind talking about the quote-unquote drama, if there is any?
Yeah, I think the board talked about a little bit and quoted it as drama, not drama, and I think I hope that's accurate. And I became aware of that, when it was announced on RMK as a group buy, and I guess they had an interest check like a couple weeks ahead of time. I wish I would have saw it just so I could have kind of mentioned it ahead of time and not had to go through all this stuff. But I was kind of frightened about it because initially I didn't really want to do anything. But the situation was that they called it the dank, which is hilarious, and like I'm all for people doing that sort of stuff. But the issue was that they called it like a low cost plank, and it uses the same form factor as the plank, which is kind of a big deal in terms of trademarking stuff. And I kind of got some advice, and they're kind of yeah, this is something that definitely infringes, but and obviously when something infringes, like it's up to you to do whatever. You don't have to enforce it, but by not enforcing this or by not protesting what was happening, like we're kind of weakening the trademark, basically weakening the plank name, so that anyone can come along and like literally just copy the name, not just like have a creative take on it like they did. They could just copy the name and say it's a plank and whatever. And obviously that's not something that we want to happen. So I had to write a letter and just say that, please don't do this. Change the name, we'd appreciate it. And probably a more forceful tone. But they were pretty responsive. They responded like within an hour. Pretty apologetic, and we were pretty grateful for that, just so they, not trying to screw me over. I'm not trying to force their hand or anything, but, just there wasn't a whole lot of options for us if we wanted to keep doing what we're doing with the plank. So we threw out some names. They initially wanted to call it the redacted, which I thought was hilarious because it's like, kind of a response to me doing this. But at the same time, like, I didn't want people to think that like I'm just the hammer censoring everyone that like does something I don't like. It's like, no, like, let's try to make this an independent product that I can say, hey, check this out. This is a project you might be interested in, without being like the bad guy in that situation. So they ended up changing the name to Contra. Which kind of has echoes of that, but it's not as obvious. It's still its own thing. And so I was pretty happy with that, and I think they were too. Aside from having to go through all the hassle of changing it, but I think it worked out pretty well. So.
Okay. So a little while back, I don't know if people watching this might remember, maybe not, but you did a, I think it was just an interest check you actually started the group buy for the Easy on the Wallet kit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't usually call them group buys and interest checks just because, I'm fortunate enough to have capital to just start stuff. So I made the order and I had parts on hand to just start selling. But yeah, so the Easy on the Wallet, or the EOTW, is kind of the low cost solution that I started this, I think, back in November I started a couple months ago, but announced it November 24th, I think is what we launched it. And it's basically like plates like this, which are all fancy, and it's a PCB, but like the material is FR4, so that's, if you see it called FR4, that's what it is. But it's just a PCB that's designed to be the bottom plate and then the top plate, and the top plate like looks like this, and just, you know, you'd assemble like the original planks way back when, you know, it's just 2 plates. And just a super easy way to get started with building a keyboard. You know, there's basically 3 PCBs, you know, 3 PCB material stuff. You'd assemble like usual with the top plate, and then it just attaches to the bottom plate, you know, with like 10 screws, and that's it. You know, there's nothing more complicated, and it costs, the top and bottom plate costs $16, which is a pretty good deal for the whole thing. Whereas previously we had to pay like $65 for the milled bottom and the top plate. So.
Yeah. So what is exactly the difference between the Easy on the Wallet kit and something like the Dank, or Contra, sorry, because it'll forever be the Dank to me ever since the last episode.
I'm aware of that. Well, they take a different approach to it. They're taking it, and it's actually what we originally did with the plank PCB. This was before Wimble had ever, you know, started messing around with PCB stuff. Is I kind of assembled a PCB that had used a teensy on board, you know, and with diodes and everything, and, you know, you have to assemble the whole thing. It's not just it's not all there in one package. And so they're taking the same route with that, with the Pro Micro, and you know, you have to solder that on as well as all the diodes, and you know, it's like the traditional DIY keyboard, I guess, like all the split boards we have, all of KBOs. I don't know how to pronounce the store. Baking Pies or Nuge's store. Boards will do that same. Hopefully he's doing the similar stuff too. Anyway, yeah, kind of the same, just Pro Micro stuff, which is, you know, great because it does bring the cost down to $30 if it's a group buy. If you want to put it in a store, it's probably gonna be a little more expensive. But...
Okay. So does your Easy on the Wallet kit feature a different PCB than your normal Plunk PCB, or is it the same one?
Not yet. So right now it's just the plate kit is all we have, which is just the top and bottom plate, and then use the normal Plank PCB to stick in there, which obviously is a lot more expensive. But we're working on a version that is a lot more stripped down, in that it won't have resistors for the LEDs, it won't have a transistor, it won't have a speaker, or like a reset button. We're kind of strip everything off and see what that, you know, how much or that brings the price down, because I realize that, you know, not everybody uses those features, and if we can just take them off for someone that just wants to use a plank and just kind of mess around with QMK, you know, that's kind of a good package.
Oh, for sure, yeah. It turns out like $40 keyboards are pretty popular because people can actually afford them. Especially, it's a good entryway into something like ortholinear in general, just because so many people are curious to try it, and, you know, it has been around for a little while now, but, you know, not everyone has $100+ to spend on a keyboard. So
that's been a goal of mine that I've tried to be public about, but the sub $50 plank, you know, that just kind of taking a step back from mechanical switches and keycaps and all that, and just saying, okay, if I wanted a plank and, you know, this form factor, what sacrifices could we make on those fronts to make it happen, you know, and use QMK? So that's something we're definitely interested in doing, just with, you know, I don't know if we're going rubber domes or do some weird thing, but, you know, that's going to be a good, like a neat intro to the community that, you know, isn't quite a mechanical keyboard, but maybe it's still something cool that people will get excited about, and, you know, maybe it's ultra portable, or, you know, just some cool stuff. So we'll see.
Most definitely. So I know I asked you last time you were on, but just for the sake of a new audience, what was kind of the design process that was going on behind the original Plonk, and why you decided on those layouts in particular, and why that worked for you and why it should work for other people?
Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of like post justifying that happens after we come to the layout. They're like, okay, it actually does this. So, you know, some of the marketing stuff we use is definitely that. But originally, I wanted to build a mechanical keyboard, and I wanted to be ortholinear. Like, I'd used Type Matrix for, I don't know how many, like 5 years at least. And just, that's what I, you know, envisioned my keyboard being, you know, but it just wasn't available. Like, there wasn't anything like that. And so I ended up making it like a 65% custom keyboard out of acrylic, which, you know, was crap, but it, you know, was a good start for me at least. And then then what's his name? I forget what his username is, but his name is Pierre. He posted effectively what was a 40% keyboard that he was going between staggered and ortholinear. It was kind of the same layout. And I hopped in there and I was like, this is awesome. Like, let's, can I talk to you about this more? And so we ended up chatting privately a whole bunch about it. And just ended up hashing out like Plank and then the layouts. We originally had like a bunch more layouts that were kind of focused on, they kind of use like the was it 1.5, the 1.5 mod keys and that sort of layout, and then have like the split, like the 3 split spacebar instead of the double split, which is pretty neat. So eventually that got hashed down to just the MIT and grid through. Well, okay, so quick tangent on MIT. I'm trying to be more conscious of trademark stuff since I'm like now the enforcer. So I looked it up and like, they're probably not gonna be happy with me calling it MIT. So I'm trying to phase that out and just call it like the 2 space bar or something similar. I haven't settled an official name, but that's being phased out as of now. Cause like, I don't want to be a hypocrite with like trying to stop people from doing stuff and like obviously infringing myself. So, yeah, so we ended up setting like MIT and grid through a couple interest checks and just started like a group buy. Like we had like 40 or 50 the first time. I ended up buying 10 sets through Big Blue Saw, which was at the time like kind of an up and coming. Well, it wasn't really being used by keyboard makers, I don't think, but it was like an online water jet cutter, and they didn't fit at all. Like they're way too tight. I had to hand file them all just to build one keyboard, and it was a disaster. So I kind of scrapped that idea, and like at the time they weren't really open to this sort of stuff, like doing group buys and this and communicating with makers. I think they've gotten a lot better, and now that I think they might be a de facto for like one-offs. I'm not really sure. Just haven't done it in a while, but
I think most people use the other one, the one that's in Greece that people liked a lot.
Are they still doing that? I saw that they kind of like shut down or something.
What was the name of that place? That's gonna drive me nuts though. Something.
Yeah, I did buy a plate from it just to see like how they did. And it was actually loose, so I was like, okay, one place gave me too tight, one's too loose, so fine. But after that, I had the issue with being too tight. I reached out to a local place here in Fort Wayne, and them being a business and kind of small towny, they were like, oh yeah, come on by, and it was kind of a friendly atmosphere, and that's what I've been using ever since to cut everything. Not we've had issues, but they've been pretty happy with them in general.
Lasergist, there we go. Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you, Jetpack Tuxedo. Fantastic. That was gonna drive me nuts. Oh, they are dead. Okay, yeah. I wasn't really sure if that was still.
I remember someone posted on the subreddit a while back, like saying like they've got like nothing from Laserdisc for like two months, not even like an email back, and like.
I've heard several pretty horrific stories about Laserdisc.
Yeah.
So
I've been thinking about. For a while, I did custom plate services through OLKB, and it was fairly popular. I think I had at least 30 orders or so total, maybe closer to 40. But the way we were doing it was on a water jet, which is kind of an inefficient way to do it. And at the time, I was like considered doing something a little more, but then Laser just popped up. Like, okay, well they seems like they have it. I'll just let them go and whatever. But now that they're dead, I was saying like, well, we could probably try to organize something through my shop where we do batches like that, like every 2 weeks. We just run a bunch of laser parts, but. I don't know. If there's interest in that, let me know. I'll look into it a little more.
Yeah, I would argue there probably would be. That's like nobody else.
Interest check.
Nobody else in the market is really able to like hit that, or nobody else is really able to hit that market. I mean, we have several people cutting like acrylic. Like acrylic is a little bit easier to find these days, but I mean, if the community had a really good go-to source for metal plates in particular, I think that'd be like custom metal plates.
Wasn't there? There's one other big place that does it that the community who's posted in the Big Blue Saw. Do they?
So that's the place I used with water jet stuff originally.
They do water jets, right?
And
they might do laser too.
I think they do laser as well now. Because I think they posted about that a few months back on the sub, and they're like, hey, we're friendly to people who want one-offs or small group projects.
Hell they are.
Awesome.
Yeah, if they're doing that, that's awesome. I just haven't been paying attention to it for a while.
So just because someone kind of brought up an interesting topic earlier, also we will be doing a Q&A later, chat, just like we always do. Once we're done with this little kind of interview segment, we'll move over to Q&A, and you can ask Jack and or us all the questions that you want. But someone earlier said Topra plank, which got me thinking. A, you should do that. A more realistic question. Have you ever thought about taking the plank to something outside of Cherry and Alps?
So I'll answer the second question first, because I've been talking to the guy. Is it IROX?
Yeah.
Have you guys seen that?
The optical switches?
No, well, they might do optical too, but I was specifically talking to him about these switches. I have them on my desk as a reminder to like follow up. But they're these guys. They are a almost Matthias footprint. It's like bigger, so not
we covered that at some point.
Yeah. Yeah. And they have the normal crucifix stem.
Yeah.
And they feel like a Matthias Quiet Click or Clicky or whatever. And I was like, yes, let me know whatever I can do to like make this happen. And so I'm talking to, I don't remember his name, but whoever is the sales contact there, trying to get a sample of like 50 so I can build a board and just kind of showboat it and whatever and get it out there as public knowledge. But yeah, I want that to happen because they use the same PCB footprint as Matthias. So the PCB is compatible. All you have to do is make new plates, which is pretty easy. And then the keycaps, are obviously any MX keycaps.
Yeah.
So aside from that, yeah, I'm open to whatever. We're working on like the KL, the PG 1350s are something we're pushing towards with supporting on every PCB, not just the plank light. It'll be the bigger, like the 19 millimeter switch spacing. So that's kind of weird, but I think that's a good, solution just to support everything we can on everything. So, but no, the first question. Sorry.
Topra. Someone in chat said Topra plank.
that's been a dream of mine for a while. I borrowed Andy Living Speed Bumps Topra from a long time ago, and I was like, this is cool. I can see this happening. Like, I want to make this happen. And I had to hold myself back from like cannibalizing it and using it to build a plank. But that's basically what it would require. It would require like a donor board at this point. I think there's been some developments with like custom rubber domes and stuff. I haven't really been following it that much, but I've seen some stuff pop up here and there about that.
Domes, yes. The main problem I think is the PCB, because you have to make a capacitive PCB. Yeah, has to be, and then obviously you need the springs as well. So if
we have a source for that stuff, like namely a 12 row of 1x1s, and then I guess a weird one for the space bar, which might be a little harder, then I think we can make it happen. It's just the custom PCB, which with doing the OTW stuff, like that's basically what we're doing. Also, I have a point about this. So I've been working on a system that is kind of unnamed right now, but I have this is made from an image. So I designed this in like Illustrator or Affinity or whatever you want, and then you convert that using the RGB channels or RGBA channels into a KMod file. And if anyone's familiar with PCB design, that's just you can just import that into KCAD and save it and whatever. You can generate Gerbers and whatever. And so like the concept is that you have like the 4 channels, alpha being like the outline. So anything that is solid is like PCB board, and anything that's not gets cut away, like whether that's drilling holes or just like some outline or whatever. And then the RGB channels are the copper, silkscreen, and solder mask. Not in that order, but excuse me, using those colors, you can generate a design in whatever program you want, be it something free or something, not PCB design program, and convert it into something that can just be ordered and made without having to worry about all the PCB conversion stuff. And it's my goal to like make this a little more easier for people to make stuff like this, whether it be custom bottoms for the OTW stuff or like literally whatever else they can dream of, So that's hopefully I'll be able to like announce that, get more information out on that soon. But that's something that I'm hopefully going to get more interest about. I don't know. We'll see.
Awesome. So now's probably as good a time as ever to move into a little Q&A. So chat, obviously, if you have questions, we theoretically have answers. Huey, you look conflicted.
Well, what was your answer, Jack, if when we asked you when you're last here for pancakes versus waffles?
I probably said waffles, and I would keep that as the same. I will stick to my guns on that.
Huey's trying to think of something more complex.
The crispiness is what gets me. So the crunchiness of the waffles is much more attractive than any sort of pancake type. Like, albeit like, you know, blueberries or raisins if you're into those, or whatever, chocolate chips.
I think we need to go back and start making a list of how many pancakes and how many waffles and who picked each. I think waffles is probably leading pretty heavily still, unfortunately.
And you can even like turn a waffle into like, you know, a sandwich or like a panini, whereas a pancake, I feel like that would not work, you know. Anyway.
Yeah, it's probably
I'm willing to hear counter arguments. That's my.
I would love to argue about food for like all day. But but unfortunately, we'll probably get back to some keyboard talk now that we already have some questions rolling in.
Keyboard talk on a keyboard show?
Once again, thank you everyone for using the @TopClack tag there when you ask questions. That helps us out a lot. We can pinpoint questions so much faster that way. So thank you for doing that, guys. And we will try to get to them, all of them, in order. So first one, this is a question we've been getting a lot. This one gets asked like to every guest. Can Jack show us his keyboard collection?
I can show you a little bit of it. I can show you one that I haven't shown anyone else if you want to see that.
That's very cool. I like that.
I got this one today, or I just got the cases in for the High Pro, or half of the cases. There's some issues I got to sort out, but this one looks pretty cool. And it's a wrinkle black powder coat finish on the High Pro.
Wrinkle black is pretty nice.
Like, what it looks like. Pretty pumped about it. I don't know how much people care about like the rugged plank or whatever, but that's something I've been trying to like get out and like kind of envision for a while, and now it's a thing. So I'm pretty pumped about that. They're for sale now. If you want to go check them out, OLKB.com.
You know, judging by how well the Norbaforce cases are doing with their very textured powder coats, as well as they also have a wrinkled black version, people are definitely interested.
Well, yeah, all Evan stuff too, like his minivan stuff. Like this, I don't know if they're all powder coated, but the art stuff he does on the that's crazy. Like I could not even do it.
Oh, his stuff. Yeah. He keeps thinking of new things like every run too.
Yeah. I got a plank light. This is the prototype case from the mass drop. Also, I have numbers. These aren't public information yet. No, they will be. We had 625 plank lights sold, and the last we're just now getting ready to ship 823 Prionics. So that's
pretty high numbers.
That's awesome.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah,
good job.
But this has I didn't talk about this at all yet, but this has I'm not gonna be able to take it off. A little tiny PCB in here for the stabilizer, so that it like holds it in the right place. Because for whatever reason with these switches, you need a plate in there to let the stabilizer work, whatever, or like not fall out, basically. And so we're going to include this little plate you put on just this switch to hold it in place, which is kind of cool.
Oh, interesting. So there's no plate there normally in the
no.
Okay.
Just because it's like one, like we didn't really want to add the cost to it, and two, like it just makes it heavier, you know, and it's just not needed. So yeah, and that's like pennies to add. So like why not do that so that people can have like a stabilizer or whatever. Got my canvas plank. It's pretty sweet. I'm not a huge MX switch, so I don't get to use all these cool keycaps. I'm stuck with my Matthews OEM ABS keys. So got a case, got a walnut case. I'm sure you guys have seen that.
The case itself is QMK powered? Holy shit, you're going far with that.
I had to test out the stickers, and I was like, oh man, I gotta take one of these off and like put it on something. So that's what I did. Yeah, stickers. That's not a keyboard thing, but stickers are on the site as well. Support QMK.
Very nice.
They're vinyl and whatever. Got the Road Kit add-on thing from 2 weeks ago. Pretty cool. Just been talking to Evan about that, trying to get some PCBs to me so that we can sell like the stuff together.
That'd be really cool.
I've got a little keyboard here.
There you go. This whole episode, I've been trying to think of like a keyboard joke to reference like keyboards.
Yeah,
I had nothing.
I don't know if I can turn my camera, but I have a bunch of. This is my little music station, so I have like a bunch of keyboards here.
Wow.
But
is it safe to say you're more into music than keyboards?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, and, you know, not to like diminish my keyboard stuff, but like it's a job now, so I have to like think about it that way. But music stuff is very much just a hobby right now for me. So anyway,
that's fine. You don't need to show off to be worth.
There's a subatomic prototype right here. I actually teased this last time I was on. I don't know if you guys remember that.
I do remember that actually.
But we're not using this design anymore, so look at it. It's neat, but we're not using it. So
also
blockers.
Yeah, we're gonna. I still want to do something like that with the one we're gonna make, but the design for the case is gonna match like all the other stuff we're doing right now with the Hypro stuff.
All right. So next question for Jack. Hypro, Planck, and Preonic cases soon?
So the Planck ones are out. They're on the site. We have wood, and then we have the anodized or the powder coated aluminum. Top plates are in the works. They're gonna be a little later than what I was hoping, but most builds don't require them. If you have if you have switches that just require have the PCB nibs on them, you just plug them in. It works fine. Yeah. Preonic ones, I think I'm just waiting on a quote for that, and then I'll start sales and get that stuff ordered. So I do have a couple sitting here. I did. I don't know where they went. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Here's a pretty loaded question. Not G10 asks, if someone buys you a Topra board, would you open source your findings to hopefully create a custom Topra scene?
Yes, definitely. I would be all for that.
All right.
I mean,
someone buy this thing at a real force.
That's not to say like send me them, but let me know and we can get that going. The main thing is that I don't want to have to buy a board to cannibalize to make it a thing. Like I want to be able to find sources for all that stuff so that people can, we can basically buy them in bulk and not have to worry about people really tearing apart keyboards to make other keyboards. But yeah, definitely.
I mean, Topra is a Japanese company. I wonder if they would actually sell stuff like springs and domes for a high enough quantity.
Maybe. I mean, I'm happy to talk to them, but I don't know that I'm that guy to do that. I think this is my thought on what needs to happen is that we need to develop a new term for that keyboard type and make it all open source and just kind of, have an open source hardware project about that with that name, but I don't know what that would be.
Rubber Dome Plus.
Yeah, because I mean, people
right.
like G-Chain, he's already doing domes. He's done the BK Redux dome. He's been working on a 55-gram dome variant as well.
Okay.
And he also, you could probably get springs not too hard. Like those can't be that hard to manufacture. I think the PCB is really the crown jewel when it comes to Topra. We need a PCB that works. So
if somebody can give me those parts, the springs and the rubber things, like don't cannibalize something, just like find them somewhere.
Oh yeah, like we can. Yeah, most definitely. Because I mean, there's smart enough people in the community. Like someone has to be able to make a PCB for this.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The only last thing I can think of for costs is since we don't have a source, someone would have to pay for the tooling for the housings for the switches.
That's the other thing. So I think because I'm looking into this before, and I think there's other solutions, like basically making custom plates with custom specific offsets that would work for that, rather than having to do the whole plastic thing. It's gonna be a little messy.
Maybe I wonder if we could actually have someone talk to the OEM of Plum, because they OEM for a few other Korean companies as well. There's like 3 Korean brands that all have those same electrocapacitive keyboards, and all those work with like J-Chan's BKE domes, so I'm certain they'll all work with like normal Topra stuff inside.
Okay.
And so they've developed a PCB that works with all that technology. I wonder, even they probably won't release that PCB information, but maybe sourcing parts.
Yeah, you could reverse engineer it. I mean, that sounds like it'd be pretty easy.
This should happen. We need more custom Topra.
Yes.
We have for years. That needs to be the next major step for this community. Anyways, yeah. Brotagonist, awesome username by the way, says, I started watching late and don't know if this was answered yet, but but when will the regular Plant get a Type-C connector?
Next revision. So I know I said that last revision, but revision 6 is going to be the overhaul. We had to do a small bump in the revision just because we changed like hole sizes and stuff, and that's kind of like a just thing you have to do. But yeah, hopefully we're going to work, I think, next week and the week after on Rev 6 for the plank, along with the subatomic that's going to hopefully get finished up, and I'll be able to post pictures of that soon, Tim. So hopefully it'll like we'll start it next month is what I'm looking at as far as sales and whatever goes.
Nice. All right. HHKB for life asks, what are your favorite Alps switches, Jack?
Alps, I'm not sure. I don't know that I've ever tried Alps switches, but I'm a huge fan of the Matthias Quiet cookies. Those have been my go-to switch for years now.
We need someone to send you some Alp switches then.
I know. I feel like we went through this on the last episode too, where you're like, yeah, I really like Matthias, and we're just like, there's so many better things on the market, kind of.
I'm open to it. I just haven't had a chance to like, I don't know. I don't know where to buy them, and two, but like, I just don't know what to get that compares. And also Zelias, I guess, are apparently pretty close. So another switch I haven't tried, unfortunately.
Do you tend to like heavier switches or lighter ones?
Usually heavier. Like I like greens for a long time.
Okay.
And I was on those, but I don't know. I use browns when I have to use MX now. So. I know. I know it's pretty basic. That's
someone needs to find you some SKCM oranges. Methinks. What do you think?
SKCM.
Yeah, you should try some of the new 78 Grand Zelios. The round 8 or round 9 versions are pretty darn nice. IMO.
Make a list here. Round 8 or 9. Okay.
But yeah, and if you can find SKCM oranges, those are pretty good. SKCM browns are also pretty good, but a little bit more rare. But yeah, we need
Are those vintage switches, or are they still produced?
They're vintage, yeah. Okay. I think the only Alp switches still produced are the Matthias, right? Or like the APC
and the Taihao APC ones.
Taihao APC,
which, I mean, if you really want a heavy but bad switch, Taihao makes a 280 gram clicky switch.
Yeah, I've heard those are not too good.
They're wildly inconsistent. Every single of when I bought my orange Alps from someone else. He's like, I threw in a special gift for you, Huey. I'm like, ooh, I wonder what kind of gift I'm getting. He threw in 120 of these APC green Alps, Taihao Alps. I'm like, every single switch is different, actually.
Huh?
Of all 100 of them, basically. That's how inconsistent they are.
Oh, yeah, actually, Melodin is setting me straight here. He says, also for MX, why not Hako Clears? Yes, Hako Clears.
Yes,
fantastic switch. Have you used those before? Yeah.
I've not.
Did you order some?
No, I'm terrible at paying attention to things that don't relate to me.
We're gonna get you some Hako Clears. That'll be nice. I think you'll like those. All right. Bug Whisperer says Norba case 40% Topra will be top Clack brand board. Right. Wow, fantastic. All right. Tech Fresh is saying to Jack, can you please get Huey and Brian on the QMK train?
Yeah,
I think Jack is way too smart for us, and I think we're way too stupid for him. It's the problem.
I think we need to sit down one week, and we'll get both of you set up in your dev environments and everything. Do you guys both use Windows?
See. Here's the big thing. Like I was talking to someone in our Discord about the basics. Like, oh, Huey, you have to set up the environment. I'm like, I have my temperature set in my room. Is that a start? Like,
it's a good start. It's a good start. Get comfortable. That would be fun if we sat down and did like a live support of me like trying to solve and like having to Google to solve your problems. That'd be fun.
Yeah, and actually, a few people have requested that already. And that was something Huey and I were kind of discussing, that because we need someone, very potentially you, to just set us down, and we'll do like either a live stream or a video series or something where you teach us how to use QMK, and if we can learn, anyone can learn.
Have you guys had Scully on before?
No, but I feel like I need to.
Yeah, we do need.
We should do both of us on at the same time to help, because that would be like every problem will be able to be solved at that point. So
yeah, cool. Let's definitely do that. Payway is great. Asks, do you top clack fellas have any time to talk about the good word? Will me and my fellow associates follow the work of QMK? All right, guys, enough with the jokes.
Oh, Ryan, was there a question about USB-C? There was.
Yeah, next revision is when we're gonna get that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, next revision playing Rev 6, and then the Rev 3 for the Prionic will have USB-C and Kale PG 1350 support.
Are those the low-profile Kale switches? Is that the actual for them? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they're called chocolate switches now.
Chocolate,
it's a very like weak branding announcement, so people still refer to them as PG 1350. So
yeah, when I visited the Input Club headquarters for the NorCal meetup in November, they had like the English version of the Kiowa brochure.
Oh, really?
It's like this thick of a sales brochure because like because they do more than just like mechanical key switches for keyboards. They do all kinds of switches. All just like flipping through that and seeing all their different switches. It's pretty interesting. Also, their translation needs a bit of work.
It's hard to find a company that doesn't need help with that.
TechFresh is asking, any future collaboration projects with OLKB in the works?
Yeah, we're working with the road kit stuff with Evan. I think as far as like products go, I don't think there's a whole lot doing because a lot of the people that we're working with like kind of do their own thing, at least in like the orthodontist space. I'm certainly open to it. I just, it's kind of a lot of my stuff like I have a pretty strong vision for, so I just like go at it, with the fist and hope it comes out. So, but yeah, I'm always open to helping out. If nothing else, just like please post it in OLKB and have it like helped by other community members that I'm sure will be happy to like do whatever you want. So
sweet. All right, so probably gonna start wrapping up here in just a few moments. If you guys have any last minute questions, make sure to put them in the chat. But we are fully caught up on questions right now, so that's why I say that. Huey, what was that about?
Oh, I was pointing at the camera so people know that. Ask questions. I point randomly. It happens.
No. All right. Well, before we head out, Jack, did you have any closing thoughts or words you'd like to say?
What's the thing? I was trying to pitch. I've been trying to like pitch, not pitch, but like give shout outs to other things besides keyboard stuff. Like, okay, so like wateregg.org, like it's like a charity thing. Do you guys ever have people pitch that stuff? Plug that stuff? Anyway, it just helps people that don't have access to water because there's like millions and millions of people that don't have access to water. So if you check that out, make a donation.
What was the name of the site?
wateraid.org. And yeah, it's nonprofit,
Sweet. There you go. Put that in chat. Yeah, you're the guest here. You can plug whatever you want, man. You have
aside from that, on the more selfish side of plugging, OLKB.com. Any playing Prionic, soon to be subatomic. We have parts on there. OLKB or QMK stickers. Check out QMK.fm for more information about QMK, along with the Gitter, where we're always chatting about QMK stuff, whether it be the toolbox, hardware, the API stuff, the compiler API stuff, or just firmware itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, just a couple more questions before we head out here. TechFresh is asking, any plans for other plate materials? So
we're introducing aluminum for the top plate. We have brass and stainless steel right now. I'm hesitant to like offer too many options just because it comes like a nightmare for fulfillment. I kind of like the idea of having one plate that kind of does everything, and that's where we tried to go with like in the past with like the MX and Matthias plates and the MIT and grid plates, but now we're just kind of stuck on the two types, the MX and Matthias, and hopefully soon IROX or whatever plate we decide to use there. So
cool. All right. Bug Whisper is asking, any for sure high-profile colors coming for the Plonk down the pipe?
The for sure ones we have right now are the flat black, the wrinkle black, gloss white, and the matte white. I'm looking at adding a gloss black just to match the gloss white, and so you can do like cool piano stuff that like fits that kind of aesthetic. But I'm kind of sticking like the monochrome stuff. I think it's just easier for me and everyone else when they want to try to make stuff match. I might do a gray thing if that's something that people want. But as far as like, you know, if we're adjusting the saturation and go around the hue circle, that's just kind of a pain to try to like figure out what people want and whatever. But I think on the mass drop, we'll always try to offer different colors each time just to kind of give people a variety. Like those exist in the world. If someone sells them, like they can find it and they can buy it. You don't have to, you know, paint it with a spray can. People have done, so I mean,
yeah,
you know,
please don't rattle can your keyboards. Please.
I mean, some people, you know, done a great job. So I wouldn't, you know, if you have the know-how and the talent, you know, go for it. Do whatever you want. But
all right. TechFresh is also asking, what is the GB in 2018 you're looking forward to the most? I don't even know. Man. I don't even know what's being run in 2018 yet.
That's it's stuff being announced. I don't know. I'm bad at following stuff that's not, you know, linear stuff. So I really don't know. Trying to think. Oh, Rama's Othida stuff. That's probably happening.
Oh, there you go. Rama TKL, whatever he's calling that. Probably something like.
Well, you guys seen the Othida board, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's 3x12. Only 3 rows, I think.
No. There's a newer one. That he's.
Yeah, that was like the M42 or something. This is I don't know his name yet, but it's a 5 row. I think it's like a 65% ish thing.
It's a very strange keyboard, but it does look very cool.
Like they're calling the Instrument 1 or something?
The Rama Instrument. People in chat are just bringing it up right quick.
Yeah, they're inspired heavily by the Teenage Engineering OP1. Both very legit. I'm pretty excited about that. I'm hoping that brings some more like high quality stuff to the Earth linear scene. So yeah, and Mobile's behind the electronics, so you know they're solid. So he's designed all the past PCB designs except the Plank Light for OLKB. So yeah.
Mego Jesus is asking, what is Jack's favorite keycap profile?
I'm pretty basic, so OEM. I like the versatility. I like the versatility of DSA just because I use Colmac, so like if I wanted to swap stuff around I could. But I use blanks, so like, you know, there's not a whole lot of options for me if I wanted to do like what's the GMK set, the Mondorian?
Yeah,
Mondorian,
something like
that. I have that in my PO box. I could go pick it up. But yeah, that's the one I was excited about. And what's their username? Sandy was behind it. Jebra, sorry. I forgot your username temporarily, Sandy. Jebra designing that and doing all the cool blank cases too, which I guess are out now. I saw someone with a bullet blank case.
The NL bullet?
Yeah.
Or whatever. Yeah. That was sweet. They had a white version. It was nice.
Ooh, a white version, yeah.
So that was cool.
I hope that those Mondrian caps change your mind about profiles and maybe.
So what is that officially? The GMK?
It's cherry profile. Cherry?
Okay. That's where I'm at a loss. I don't really know the difference between OEM and cherry.
Cherry is like
cherry profile is our Lord and Savior.
Yeah, it's
okay.
How would I describe it? It's like a low profile version of OEM, but better.
Okay. Is like the tilt different, or is it kind of the same?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
I don't even know how to describe it.
Explain it other than like if you like OEM, because actually when I started in keyboards, I actually really liked OEM. I got a lot of like PBT OEM keycaps to start, and when I was first in the hobby, I was like, why would I ever get cherry or like GMK keycaps? They seem so expensive, and when you look at them side by side, it doesn't look that different, at least to the untrained eye. But then when you start typing on them, it's amazing. That's why it's hard to explain why, because visually they don't look terribly different if you don't know what you're looking for, but the profile is a bit lower than OEM, but it has a better sculpt is the way I'm going to say it. A better sculpt.
Okay. I'll be buying that.
So things we've learned from this stream so far: someone needs to get Jack Topra, someone needs to get Jack cherry profile keycaps, and someone needs to get Jack better switches.
Basically, upgrade your plank is what you're saying.
Basically, you turn Jack into a keyboard enthusiast. That's what I'm hearing.
I'm not ashamed to admit I know very little about stuff that I don't make, so I'm always open to everything that's out there. The one thing I'm excited about is the MT3s, the Matteo's cute profile.
Yes.
Because that like I tried to resurrect the SS profile from SA for a while, or from SP for a while.
Yeah.
Because as soon as I like found out what that was, got interested, they discontinued it. I was like, no. I was about to shoot an email to like make an order for these. And they're like, oh yeah, it's gonna cost like $5,000 per mold to remake everything. Like, okay, I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, so that's like the best thing that could happen was Matteo's project with that. Yeah.
All right, fair enough. Well, we are out of questions, and now it's probably as good a time as any to wrap it up here. So, Jack, thank you so much for coming on once again. It's awesome to have a wealth of knowledge such as yourself on the show, and
Yeah,
I look forward to the QMK for W's collaboration.
Seriously, let's plan it.
We'll
do it. We'll
contact you. Yeah, we'll definitely something that we know. I've talked to quite a few of our fans and viewers, and they've kind of asked me, like, even though I know QMK Huey, I want you to help spread it, because they keep telling me, everyone keeps telling me QMK is the future apparently.
I just want to point and click on what I want keys to do. Like that's my future. I need Yes, but cool. Yes, thank you so much for coming on, everyone. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for the subs today, everyone that subbed. We appreciate it. And catch us next week. You're gonna cut me off without our own outro.
Cut you out the outro.
Wow.
Over the outro. It's not that loud.
Whatever, man. Whatever. You're fired. You're done. Top Black fired. Anyways, yes. Same bat time, same bat place next week. We will be here with a guest, perhaps.
Yes, with a guest. Guest is confirmed for next week already.
Really but we're not going to tell you. Stop.
Well, we're not going to tell him?
It needs to always be a surprise from now on. I'm calling it. Every guest is a surprise.
Well, if you want to know who the guest is, join our Discord, because everyone in our Discord already knows.
Oh. Shut up. So below the stream, you'll find a link to our Discord if you want to join us. We have a lot of fun there.
Brian, we're not done yet. We still have to announce the winner of the BKE raffle. Brian.
Oh, yes. Okay, yes, you're right. So recently we did a giveaway on our Discord, which is probably where we're going to do most, if not all, of our giveaways from now on. So our Discord's a good place to be. We did BKE domes, the Redux from keyclack.com. We had a 110 pack of the light and 110 pack of the heavy, and we did some RNG. We had a little Google Doc or Google form, whatever it's called, and we made people submit timestamps of their Topra boards because we wanted someone that was going to win these to actually use them instead of just throw them away or resell them or whatever because they hate Topra or something. So your odds were insanely good to win this. There was only 23 entrants.
And there's 47 people, 40% of the people entered for heavies, and 53% of people entered for the light. So it was almost a 12 and 11 person, or 14 and 9. It's just a really small split. So whichever you entered for, you had a really good chance. Really good. And the grand.
Who are our winners?
The grand winner. I don't know, grand winner. People don't say that. But our, I was thinking of grand finalists, but it's not like there's rankings or places. There's just a winner who is for the BKE lights. User Dajia. Congratulations.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce that.
I'm saying Dajia. Dajia. Yeah. Congratulations, you've won the BKE lights. We'll be PMing you on the Discord. And the winner for the BKE heavies is Rafa M.
Yep. Rafam.
Both of them said the things they liked about Keyclack/JChan are actually very similar. They both liked that they ran GMK sets, particularly muted. And Rafa is still waiting for his M65.
It's been a while now. It's been 5 months.
Well,
anyways,
thank you everyone very much. Thank you, Jack, once again. Everyone, we'll see you next week at 6 p.m. Pacific. See everyone in 2018.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
See y'all in 2018. Take care.